preparing for your test, because we aren't going to finish this lesson today. Like I say, it is mostly the vocabulary, because I'm going to be using all that vocabulary for the rest of this year. So you need to know what these words mean. All right, let us begin with a set. Now, you have all used that word. It has a meaning. In math, its meaning is as follows. A set is any group. Why did I put a space there? Any group of data. And data in math is anything we can count. Everybody cool? So, in this room right now, somebody give me an example of a set of things. Pardon? Desks. There is a set of desks in this room. Excellent. Good. There is a set of students in this room. Good. Give me another set.
A set of pencils, books.
Pencils, textbooks. We could do this all day, yes? Yeah. Is there a set of adults in this room?
No.
That's hurtful.
No, but a set is
Am I a set?
One person is not a group.
Oh, because we can count you.
Can you count me?
Yeah.
So am I a set?
Oh, yeah. One
yes.
is a set. Okay.
Everybody good? That's why I chose adults for a reason.
Hurtful.
Yeah.
I said hurtful because I assume you were speaking towards my behavior.
Oh. Yikes.
All right, are we all good with what a set is?
Yeah.
Okay. So, we had lots of examples. We had kids in here.
Students.
Desks. Adults. All of those things are sets. Everybody cool? Because we can count them. All right? Next word you need to know is an element. An element is a single piece of data in a set. So in other words, sets are composed of elements. All right? So go back to our examples. If the set is kids, then give me an example of an element of that set.
No.
Zach Goulet.
So specific.
Everybody cool? That's the set. Zach's one element of the set. All right? Adults, what's the only element of that set?
Mr.
Myers.
Matt.
Everybody good?
Yes.
Okay. And the third one is a relation. A relation is any time. I shouldn't say any time. Sorry. A relationship is a comparison between elements of two different sets. So, kids and desks. Can I perform a relationship between them?
No.
How many desks are in the room? 30. How many kids are in the room?
20-some.
Well, you see there's 3 empty desks, so do some
27.
subtraction. Excellent. So that is a relationship, yes? I can relate the number of desks to the number of students.
So a ratio?
So, yes. Desks and students. right? So in this room, there are 30 desks, but only 27 students. Everybody cool? And you can relate any two things at all. That is a problem. That's what the media and what the internet does to us. It will compare things that have no business being compared and say there's a relation, even though there isn't. And that makes us do stupid things like vote for people that don't know what they're talking about. Okay? Now, just for fun, observe. I want to show you guys something. Okay? I want to show you something. Now, Okay, eyes back on the board. If I were to graph two different relations, a graph would look like, a graph would look like this, yes? The blue line is relation 1. It goes up, plateaus a little, then falls really sharply, then goes back up. Everybody cool? So over this time, things are getting better. They stay the same for a while. Then all of a sudden they drop. And then, holy crap, they get super good again. Everybody understand? Okay. Now, I'm going to put another relationship on this graph. This is a different relationship. And it looks like this. Compare the pink and the blue line. But what do you notice?
They like go down a bit and then they go up.
They both seem to follow the same path, yes? So, would it be all right to say when the pink relationship is improving, that will make the blue relationship improve? No. It wouldn't be all right, but would people say that? Of course they would, wouldn't they? And the news does this all the time. The media, the social media, they will take two things that have nothing to do with each other, compare them, and you, the consumer, will say, holy crap, really? Wow. Here's the example I wanted to give you. The number of people who drowned by falling in a pool, the red line, related to the number of films Nicolas Cage stars in. Oh my gosh, when Nicolas Cage starts starring in more and more movies, more people die by falling in a pool. We better keep that guy out of films, yes?
What?
Who made this?
A guy who is probably hates idiots in the news as much as I do. Because that is idiotic, isn't it?
The news talked about that.
No, the news didn't talk about that, but the news can take two completely unrelated things, put them on a graph, and we'll all go, holy crap. Wow, look at the next one. People per capita cheese consumption. The more cheese people eat, what happens? The more people who die becoming tangled in their bed sheets. Oh my God, we better stop letting cheese into our country because more people are dying. It's not a thing. That's the point. That's why this is stupid. This is the kind of graph that liars will use to convince you of something. Okay? This is the kind of graph that someone would say, oh, there's been an increase in violent crime in this city. And there's been an increase in immigration to our city. Are those things related? Maybe, but does the graph prove they're related?
No.
Does this graph prove these things are related?
No.
No. Would you, as a consumer of information, possibly allow yourself to be fooled by this graph if the red line was immigration and the black line was violent crime? Yes. Would you ever ask another question? No, you would see that and say, oh my God, we better stop immigration. Now, if I told you that that red line was violent crimes all being committed by Canadians? Wait a minute. The violent crime is going up. They're only being committed by Canadians. Do we need to stop immigration? No, of course not. And look at all these. If you lower your consumption of margarine, the people in Maine will divorce less.
Wow.
Do you understand where I am going with this? This is the power of numbers. When all you people say, when am I ever going to need to know this stuff in real life? You are going to be presented with statistics and graphs, aren't you?
Yeah.
And you are going to make decisions based on those statistics and graphs, aren't you? Are these statistics and graphs? Do they make any kind of sense?
No.
No. Should you believe a graph that you see automatically?
No.
No. Does this actually mean that if I eat less margarine, Mom and Pop Jones in Maine will probably stay together? Of course not. And there's a million of them. Oh, look. As Miss America gets younger, the drops in murders by steam, vapors, and hot objects will fall. Damn, we better make sure we choose the youngest Miss America possible next year so we have less murders by steam. Do all of you see where I'm going with this? Ethan. Of course.
See, you can suffocate by steam.
Now, you could argue that these two might be related because they look related, don't they? Total revenue generated by arcades with computer science doctorates. The more people good with computers, the more video games there are. The more video games there are, the more arcades there could be. The more arcades there are, the more money there could be from it. Yes?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And yet, would you believe this?
Yeah.
Not without thinking about it. Just because the lines line up doesn't mean they're related in any actual way. Okay? That's the point of the lesson. Because look at the next one. Everybody argues that sociology is one of those useless things you study at university, that there's no use in real life.
That is not true.
But I would argue that exploring space is something we could maybe do. But as I lower my sociology doctorates, there are less exploration of space. All right, everybody good? Everybody sees how stupid this can be? Then go to tylervigan.com, spurious correlations. Per capita consumption of mozzarella cheese. What do you think's going to happen? If I eat more cheese, will there be more civil engineers? Let's find out. Oh! We eat more pizza, there will be more smart people becoming engineers. Yes! Do they have anything to do with each other?
No.
No, because I would argue the people that eat pizza on a regular basis instead of other kinds of food are probably not, and I'm making a correlation that isn't valid here, are probably not the people that are becoming civil engineers, are they?
No.
Is that a correlation I should be making? No! Because eating pizza has nothing to do with how intelligent you are. Want to see the next one? Sure, why not? We got a bit of time. People who drowned after falling out of a fishing boat correlates with the marriage rate in Kentucky. Oh, thank goodness. As less people drown, oh no, this is bad. Less people get married.
No.
Oh no, don't let the right-wing people see that. Don't let the family values people see that. If people drown in fishing boats, we'll have less marriage, less traditional families. Oh no. We better stop fishing. We have to stop fishing. Family values are more important. You can't possibly grow up an intelligent, caring person if you don't have properly married parents. So no more fishing in Kentucky. Except Kentucky has no ocean, so there's not a lot of fishing there anyway. But apparently, the fishing fleet in Maine affects the marriage rate in Kentucky. Of course not. Everybody understand how foolish this is? Good. So now you have a tool to avoid falling into these pitfalls like morons. Because you are not morons. What? Uh-oh. The more oil the U.S. imports from Norway results in more collisions with trains.
I mean,
You could argue that one.
No, you can't, Geo.
Geo, you can. What? Now you import the oil in, yeah? You transport it by train.
No, you don't. How do you transfer it
they're by
from Norway
ship.
to
They're
US?
by boats.
How do you get the coast?
Question mark?
There's no train.
Oh, the more chicken we eat, the more oil the U.S. has to import. We don't fry our food in crude oil, Ethan. No, we don't.
Yeah, that doesn't make someone eat by train. You cannot be stupid and not run a train.